Part 159. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1581. Chapter 1581, That guy named Gong is really ruthless. For a time, everyone in the box was silent, and not a single conversation could be heard in the huge box. Quiet, not like an entertainment place, but like a quiet tea house. Chiao Mian was still a little bit mentally disturbed. She also wanted to leave the scene immediately, so she nodded and said, yes. Linda could see that Chiao Mian was still scared, so she came over and put her arm around her, and then they quickly left the box. Wait until they leave. The group of men who were arrogant and domineering just now seemed to have finally come to life and finally dared to speak out. The private room finally became lively. Why is that woman still related to Gong Zili? Gong Zili actually helped her and seemed to obey her. There were rumors about her and Gong Zili's scandal before, but they were later clarified. Now it seems that the scandal is not without any truth. Gong Zili is protecting her like this, maybe he really has an affair with her. I don't know how Boss Huang is doing, but that guy named Gong is really ruthless. Will Boss Huang die? Even if he doesn't die, he will have to lie in the hospital for a while. Boss Huang is also unlucky he offended Gong Zili. His hard days are still to come, and being beaten is a trivial matter. As soon as the sentence was spoken, everyone around him fell silent. Yes. If you messed with the crown prince of the Gong family, just a beating would be considered a light punishment. If he wants to deal with Boss Huang later, it is estimated that Boss Huang's company will not be able to survive. This is the worst thing. It's also because Boss Huang is unlucky. He doesn't like any woman, but he chooses the one who is related to Gong Zili. There were many men in the box who were trying to figure out Chiao Mian's ideas, but now they were so frightened that they didn't dare to think about anything anymore. Asterisk. After leaving the box, Gong Zili asked someone to cancel the original plan and drove Chiao Mian and Linda in the car, saying they were going to the hospital. Chiao Mian thought he was going to see a doctor. Thinking that he had helped her, she accompanied him silently. Linda accompanied Chiao Mian. After several people arrived at the hospital, medical staff were waiting outside. Seeing Gong Zili, the doctor stepped forward and said respectfully, Mr. Gong. Gong Zili nodded, turned to look at Chiao Mian and said, let them check you out. Chiao Mian was stunned for a moment, then raised her head in surprise, check it for me. Isn't it Gong Zili who wants to come over to see the doctor? Well, let me check you, see if there are any injuries. I'm fine. Chiao Mian was a little confused, no need to check. He appeared in time, and Boss Huang didn't hurt her much. It's better to check her again, it won't take long. After Gong Zili finished speaking, he ordered the doctor, take Miss Chiao for a full body checkup. Yes, Mr. Gong. Miss Chiao, please come this way. Chiao Mian. Doesn't she even have the right to refuse? She has nothing going on and is fine. Why should she go for a full body checkup? She wanted to refuse. But, thinking that the man in front of her had helped her a lot just now, and he did it out of concern for her. He had already come to the hospital, and it was nothing to go for a checkup. Just think of it as a 6-monthly physical examination. Linda was also advising, Mian, then go and get it checked. I'm a little worried too. Okay, Chiao Mian said helplessly, then wait for me for a while. Soon, Chiao Mian left with the doctor. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1582. Chapter 1582. I don't dare to think about it any further. Linda thought of what happened just now. Although she was a little frightened by Gong Zili, she still had the courage to say, Mr. Gong, thank you so much for what happened just now. If you hadn't appeared in time to help Mian, I can't imagine the consequences. Gong Zili watched Jiao Mian leave before slowly looking away. He turned his head to look at Linda, with a cold look in his narrow eyes. I have nothing to thank you for, but I don't want to see this happen again. Since she is your artist, you have the responsibility to protect her. Do you think you can afford the consequences if I don't come here tonight? Linda was shocked, and her expression suddenly changed. As a result of course she couldn't afford it. That's why she was very lucky. Fortunately, she met Gong Zili at such a critical moment and prevented the terrible consequences from happening. That's what Mr. Gong said. Linda was a little afraid of Gong Zili's gaze. After looking at each other for a few seconds, she lowered her head and did not dare to look at him again. Mian is my artist. I have the responsibility to be responsible for her safety. Today it's true that I didn't do a good job and didn't go with her. I will pay attention to it in the future. Miyazawuli also knew that Linda could not be blamed for this matter. Even if she was with Jiao Mian at that time, I'm afraid she wouldn't be able to stop anything. Fortunately, Jiao Mian is fine now. He just felt a little scared when he thought about it, so he took his anger out on Linda. Why are you going to the KTV tonight, and why are you related to that person named Huang? Linda told Gong Zili everything. I didn't expect that boss Huang was so lustful. If Master Gong hadn't appeared in time, Mian might have. Seeing Miyazawa's face suddenly darken, Linda immediately stopped talking and did not dare to continue. Because at that moment, she felt a terrifying murderous aura from Gong Zili. Linda raised her head and looked at Gong Zili's gloomy and scary face, and suddenly felt a strange feeling in her heart. Actually, when she was still at the KTV, she already felt strange in her heart. At that time, Gong Zili saw Jiao Mian being bullied by boss Huang. At that moment, he seemed to have lost his mind. He stepped forward and beat boss Huang to death. He struck hard. If Jiao Mian hadn't stopped him later, maybe he would have beaten boss Huang to death. Linda knew that Gong Zili and Mo Yesi were friends. So when he sees his brother's woman being bullied, it's normal for him to come forward to help. However, the help from Gong Zili was different from the help from a normal friend. A woman's intuition made Linda feel that Gong Zili's feelings for Jiao Mian were a little unusual. Jiao Mian obviously had nothing to do, so she even sent her to the hospital for a checkup. This kind of care and concern goes beyond the scope of normal friends. Linda didn't dare to think any further. She felt that Gong Zili should not be so confused. It was probably because she thought too much. Perhaps, it's just because he has a good relationship with Mo Yesi that he takes such good care of Jiao Mian. Asterisk. There was nothing wrong with Jiao Mian, so when he was checked out, there was naturally no problem. She took the examination report from the doctor's hand, flipped through it, and walked out of the diagnosis room. When I walked to the door, I bumped into someone. Jiao Mian immediately apologized. I'm sorry. It's okay, I should be the one to say sorry to you, miss. I didn't touch you, did I? End of this chapter. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1583. Chapter 1583. She seems to still not like him very much. A gentle and pleasant voice sounded from above her head. Jiao Mian raised her head and saw a woman wearing a black Hepburn-style skirt standing in front of her. She was in her mid-20s, not particularly beautiful, but had a very good temperament. Looking like a lady who is proficient in music, chess, calligraphy, and painting. It sounds strange. The woman is not very beautiful, but she has a very attractive temperament. Jiao Mian couldn't help but look at her twice. I'm fine. I accidentally bumped into you while walking. Are you okay? The woman smiled and shook her head. Chiao Mian felt very embarrassed, apologized to her again, and then turned and left. After she left the diagnosis room, the woman was still standing at the door, looking at her back and thinking deeply. Chiao Mian. They finally met. She is the woman who fascinated Mo Yesi. She looks really beautiful. But she believed that just being beautiful could not win over a man like Mo Yesi. Chiao Mian had already walked some distance away, and she could still feel a gaze following her behind her. She couldn't help but look back and saw the woman she had just hit still standing there looking at her. That look is weird. Chiao Mian was stunned for a moment and frowned slightly. She was sure that she did not know that woman. However, the way the woman looked at her gave her the illusion that they knew each other. After a few seconds, the woman finally withdrew her gaze and walked into the consultation room. Chiao Mian didn't think about it any further. Although she thought the woman was a bit strange, she didn't really take it to heart and turned around to leave. A few minutes later, she found Gong Zili and Linda. Mian, are you okay? Linda asked. Chiao Mian shook his head, it's okay. Gong Zili was completely relieved when he heard she said it was okay. Mr. Gong, I have checked. The doctor said that I am very healthy and there is no problem at all. Chiao Mian looked at Gong Zili who was waiting aside, picked up her phone and looked at the time, and then said, it's not early either. Okay, Mr. Gong has other things to do, right? Just go and do your business. Sister Xie and I are also going back. At this time, Gong Zili's cell phone also rang. He answered the phone, and after a while, Chiao Mian saw his face darken and his eyes showing impatience. I told you, I'm not interested in her. If you bring people closer to me again, don't blame me for being rude to her. I don't need others to worry about my own affairs. That's it, I'm hanging up, don't call me again. Miyazawa's face remained calm after hanging up the phone. He pursed his lips and his eyes darkened. Judging from the expression on his face, it was obvious that something unhappy had happened to him. At this time, another of his subordinates came over and whispered a few words in his ear. Seeing Gong Zili's expression change slightly, he raised his head and glanced at Chiao Mian. I have something to do, so I can't send you back. You. It doesn't matter, just go and do your business. Sister Xie, just send me back. Yes, Master Gong, I can take Mian home. Gong Zili pursed his lips. Chiao Mian agreed so readily and looked like she wanted him to leave immediately, which made him feel a little unhappy. She seems to still not like him very much. Asterisk. Gong family. Mrs. Gong was hung up by Gong Zili, with an unsightly expression on her face. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1584. Chapter 1584. Don't let her think about giving up. Beside her, Shang Guanqing looked at her face, her heart sank, and asked with disappointment in her eyes, Auntie, isn't Brother Zili coming back? Mrs. Gong turned her head, held her hand, and sighed softly, I'm afraid I won't be back today. He encountered something very important at work, and he has to deal with it personally, so there is nothing he can do. Ching, you are so considerate, I guess you can understand. For men, career is very important. Even if Shang Guanqing was unhappy in her heart, she had to pretend to be considerate and sensible. She endured the unhappiness in her heart and nodded, Auntie, I can understand. What a good boy. Mrs. Gong praised, Zili needs a gentle, sensible, and considerate woman. If you can be together, that would be great. In the future, I don't have to worry about whether he is around or not. A lovely woman took care of him. Shang Guanqing was elated when he heard this, and said with a shy expression, and, I am willing to take care of Brother Zili. But, he seems to already have someone he likes, and he doesn't like me. Even if I am willing to go to him and take care of him, he doesn't need me. Who said that? Mrs. Gong said immediately, Ching Ching, you are such a gentle, kind, and lovely girl, everyone will like you. Where can there be people who don't like you? It's not that your brother Zili doesn't like you, it's just that he always hates us meddling in his emotional affairs. So no matter how nice you are, he will reject you at first. It's not that he doesn't like you, but he is protesting to me and his dad in this way. Shang Guanqing was stunned for a moment and actually believed it. Is that so? She suddenly became happy. Brother Zili said he doesn't like me because of you and uncle. Well, he is my son, how can I still not understand him? Mrs. Gong is deceiving Shang Guanqing. In fact, she knew very well that Gong Zili really had no interest in Shang Guanqing. However, the palace lady cannot say it directly. Because she is still very satisfied with Shang Guanqing. Speaking of the Shang Guan family, their family status is slightly worse than that of the Gong family. But apart from the Shen family, which has fallen into decline, it is currently the most suitable family for the Gong family. The Yan family, the Mo family, and the Lu family are naturally close rivals of the Gong family, especially the Mo family. But none of these families have daughters. Shang Guanqing is an only daughter. She has been favored since she was a child, but her personality is a bit different. However, to the palace lady, these are nothing. This girl is fascinated by her son. She has a bad temper towards others, but in front of her son, she must be a good girl. So Mrs. Gong must stabilize Shang Guanqing and not let her have the idea of giving up. Then, even if brother Zili likes me, he will deliberately show that he doesn't like me because he is angry with you. Yes, Mrs. Gong lied without blinking or blushing. Ching Ching, the girl Zili has liked since childhood is your type. So, how could he not like you? Do you believe auntie, he is just telling the truth and deliberately going against me and your uncle. Auntie will definitely call him back tomorrow night. You two will get along more with each other and develop your relationship. Anyway, you are the daughter-in-law that auntie considers to be her. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1585. Chapter 1585. I hope you can take the initiative. With Mrs. Gong's words, Shang Guanqing gained confidence in herself again. She knew how it was possible that Gong Zili really didn't like her. But among all the men that Shang Guanqing likes, there is no one who does not bow to her in the end. Even though Gong Zili is different from the men who supported her before, he is more handsome, his status is more noble, and his temperament is more aloof, but it is only by conquering such a man that there is a sense of accomplishment, right? Besides her, who else could be so perfect for him? She had determined to marry him since she was a child. How could you give up on him so easily because of some setbacks? She is going to decide the position of the young lady of the Gong family. Ching Ching, Zili has been spoiled by girls since he was a child. He is very proud of men and women and has never actively pursued any girl. Even if he meets a girl he likes, he will take the initiative. So auntie hopes that you can take the initiative. As the saying goes, a man chases a woman across a mountain, and a woman chases a man across a vale. If you can take the initiative, I believe Zili will be more enthusiastic about you. Shang Guanqing bit her lips and looked shy, but I don't know how to take the initiative. Auntie, I have never taken the initiative to pursue any boy. It's not difficult. Mrs. Gong shook her hand and imparted experience to her in a soft voice. Men all like women who are good wives and mothers. Occasionally, you can cook some food yourself and send it to the company for him. Go and send him text messages and call him often to care about him. He will know how you treat him. Can I do this? Of course. He is my son. Don't I know him well? Zili likes gentle and virtuous women. But, I don't even have brother Zili's mobile phone number. My aunt will give it to you, and my aunt will also give you his WeChat ID. This will make it easier for you to interact more in the future. With more interactions and communication, the longer we know each other, the more he will gradually become enthusiastic about you. Shang Guanqing looked at Mrs. Shanggong with encouraging eyes, a hint of excitement surged in her eyes, and nodded vigorously. Asterisk. The other side. Because of Boss Wang's incident, Chiao Mian and Linda also went home early. As soon as she got home, she received a video chat from Mo Yesi. Chiao Mian opened the door, then turned on the light in the entrance hall, bent down and put on her slippers, and put the key on the shelf nearby. She walked in and clicked to accept the video. 1 second later, an extremely handsome and profound face appeared in the WeChat video. The man's facial features were three-dimensional and profound, as if carved with a knife. Even in the video without any beauty, it was so beautiful that it made people's hearts tremble. Chiao Mian walked to the living room. She sat on the sofa, grabbed a pillow and hugged it in her arms, lazily nestling in a corner of the sofa. Just came home, Mo Yesi asked in a gentle voice. Well, Chiao Mian reported to him the evening's schedule. After work, I invited Sister Xia and brother to have a meal, and then Sister Xia and I went to sing for a while, and then went home. She did not tell Mo Yesi about Boss Huang. Since the matter has been resolved and she has not suffered any substantial harm, Chiao Mian doesn't want to worry about it by speaking out. We should have a meal to celebrate. Mo Yesi had just finished taking a shower. In the video, he was wearing a bath towel with water drops dripping down his body. He was holding a mobile phone in one hand and a towel in the other. Wipe hair. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1586. Chapter 1586. It seems that I have to prepare well in advance. Even if the person in the video is my husband. Even Chiao Mian had seen him like this for the first time, but looking at his excellent supermodel figure, she still felt her heart beating faster. It should be said that Mo Yesi's figure is better than those models on the catwalk. If it weren't for this man, he would already be her husband. If it weren't for this, she would have seen the scene many times. Chiao Mian felt that she really couldn't resist and might even have a nosebleed. If I hadn't been on a business trip, I would have come over to celebrate with you. Are you on a business trip? Chiao Mian noticed at this moment that Mo Yesi seemed to be in the hotel. Well, I have to stay out for a few days. When this business trip is over, I will go find you. Chen Chen's birthday will be in a few days. Chiao Mian thought for a while and said, I'd better go back and let's celebrate Chen Chen's birthday together. Is it Chen Chen's birthday? Then your birthday is coming soon, isn't it? Chiao Mian and Chiao Chen were both born in the same month, and their birthdays are only 10 days apart. Mo Yesi nodded, curled his lips and said, it seems I have to prepare well in advance. Chiao Mian smiled, what are you ready for? Birthdays happen every year, and they are not a special day. I would like to choose a gift for my mother on her birthday. My birthday is her Good Friday. Mo Yesi chuckled, this is the first birthday we have celebrated for you together. It is of great significance and I must give you a good one. As for choosing a gift for your mother-in-law, that is what you should do. Let's choose it together then. Hearing him call his mother-in-law, Chiao Mian couldn't help but laugh. You call me mother-in-law quite smoothly. Your mother is naturally my mother-in-law. Why am I embarrassed to say it out loud? I'm still thinking, should I find a time to visit my other mother-in-law's grave? It seems that you haven't officially introduced me to her yet. Mo Yesi was talking about Chiao Mian's adoptive mother who had passed away. is also one of the relatives Chiao Mian cares about the most. After his reminder, Chiao Mian realized that she had indeed not brought Mo Yesi to visit Chiao's mother's grave. They are already married. She should take Mo Yesi to worship. The two chatted like this for more than an hour before ending the video chat. Asterisk. Chiao Angzhen received the news and learned that Boss Huang was admitted to the hospital and suffered a concussion from the beating, so he quickly found someone to find out about the situation at that time. After learning that Boss Huang was admitted to the hospital because of Chiao Mian, she couldn't help but panic. The one who beat him was Gong Zili. This means that Mo Yesi and Bai Yusheng will also know about this matter soon. Chiao Angzhen imagined the consequences, and his face turned pale with fear. She just relied on Boss Huang and got some resources to show her face. If something happens to Boss Huang, will she still have any good fruits to eat? She is now signed under Boss Huang's name. If anything happens to Boss Huang, she will inevitably be affected. Originally, she lost the opportunity to audition, and she wanted to trick Boss Huang and help him find someone to be accommodating. Who knew that something like this would happen? Chiao Angzhen had just finished receiving an announcement. Song Fang said to her, "Others in the company have already gone to the hospital to visit me. You should also go to the hospital now." End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1587. Chapter 1587. I want to teach that a lesson. If it weren't for the interests involved, why would Chiao Angzhen care about Boss Huang's life or death? She was forced by the situation and had to commit herself to Boss Huang for the sake of her own future. But deep down, I feel disgusted with men like Boss Huang. But no matter how disgusting it is, it still has to be superficial. Everyone else in the company went to visit, so of course she had to go too. Asterisk. Before Chiao Angzhen went there, she already knew that Boss Huang had been beaten badly. But when she saw that Boss Huang's face was swollen like a pig's head, almost beyond recognition, she was still shocked. She turned her head and looked at Song Fang in horror. Song Fang was also a little frightened. She didn't expect Boss Huang to be beaten so badly. It seems that the crown prince of the Gong family is really ruthless. After seeing Boss Huang, they understood more deeply why some people said they would rather mess with the king of hell than the crown prince of the Gong family. Because you mess with the crown prince of the Gong family, you will most likely be asked to see the king of hell. Boss Huang woke up, probably still in pain, and kept making painful noises from his mouth. His eyes are small to begin with. After being beaten, the mung-bean eyes were swollen, and there was only a slit left. The flesh on his face was also swollen, and his facial features seemed to have sunk into the flesh, making him as ugly as he wanted. Chiao Angzhen felt extremely disgusted after taking one look at it, but she still endured the nausea and walked over to care about him. "Mr. Huang, I'm Angzhen, I'm here to see you. How do you feel now? Are you feeling better?" Hearing her voice, Boss Huang raised his slitted eyes and glanced at her. Chiao Angzhen walked to the bed and sat down. She picked up a glass of water on the bedside table and asked softly, "Mr. Huang, do you want to drink some water? I'll feed you." Boss Huang shook his head. Chiao Angzhen asked again, "Then do you have anything to eat? I'll ask someone to buy it for you." Boss Huang still shook his head. Chiao Angzhen frowned, and just when she was thinking about what to say next, Boss Huang, who was still lying on the bed and watching her dying body, suddenly reached out and grabbed her hand tightly. Chiao Angzhen was startled. "Mr. Huang. Your sister." Boss Huang couldn't speak clearly. He took 2 breaths and said intermittently, "Why didn't you tell me? She has a relationship with Gong Zili." Is she Gong Zili's woman?" Chiao Angzhen was stunned and wanted to take her hand out, but Boss Huang held her tightly. I don't know where Boss Huang got his strength. He looked half dead, but when he grabbed Xiao Angzhen, he was extremely strong. Then, that bitch, Boss Huang gritted his teeth and said harshly, "It's all because of her, me, I'm so unlucky I can't spare that bitch." Hearing what he said, Xiao Angzhen's eyes quickly flashed with a strange color. "You are her sister, please find a way for me to ask that out," Boss Huang said with a ferocious expression on his face and a ruthless look in his eyes. "I want to teach that a lesson. If you can handle this for me, you will be the first sister of the company. From now on all the resources of the company will be given to you." Xiao Angzhen's eyes lit up, and she looked at Boss Huang with joy in her eyes. "Mr. Huang, is everything you said true? If she becomes the first lady of the company in the future, she will no longer have to worry about resources. The more important point is that there is nothing she can do against Xiao Mian now." End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1588. Chapter 1588. Gong Zili beats someone up. If someone wants to deal with Xiao Mian, she will support him 100%. Xiao Angzhen understands Boss Huang. If Xiao Mian falls into the hands of Boss Huang, a trace of viciousness and joy flashed in Xiao Angzhen's eyes, and she couldn't wait to see that day. Asterisk. Xiao Mian woke up the next day and found that she was on the hot search again. Moreover, she was on the hot search together with Gong Zili. Hashtag 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 hashtag. I don't know who it was, but they took a video of Gong Zili beating someone and posted it on Weibo. In the video, the light is very dim, but Gong Zili and Xiao Mian can still be seen. From the video, you can hear Boss Wang's wailing sound when he was beaten. The person who posted the video applied for a small account with the title, "The Crown Prince of the Gong Family was so angry that he rushed to the hospital in full public view." The name of the Weibo account where the video is posted is an upright person. According to the time, it was a trumpet account that was just registered that day. If you were able to take a photo in the box, it must have been someone who was also in the box at the time. This video quickly went viral. Gong Zili's identity is one that can easily arouse heated discussions. He was labeled as the rich second generation of a wealthy family who beats people up, and the topic immediately aroused. In addition, Xiao Mian is also involved. Xiao Mian has appeared frequently in hot searches recently, and she is also a person who easily attracts attention. What's more, Gong Zili beat someone because of her. The two had another scandal in the past. Suddenly, it attracted more attention. A so-called insider came out and broke the news, saying that Gong Zili's beating was all because of Xiao Mian. He also said that Gong Zili was crazy at the time. Everyone in the box was frightened by him, and no one dared to step forward to stop him. Xiao Mian stepped forward to stop him. You know, with the character of the crown prince of the Gong family, none of us dared to hold him back when he was still angry. However, Xiao Mian went over and pulled him and asked him to stop fighting, and he really no more fighting. Thinking about the previous scandals between the two of them, and it was later clarified that they were friends, I now feel that there might really be an affair between the two. Anyway, Gong Zili's reaction at that time was similar to that of his own woman being bullied. It's not like just helping a friend. Oh my god, Gong Zili is too scary in this video. Is he having a rage attack? That person won't be beaten to death. I also think that this way of fighting won't kill people. It's so scary. Although he is handsome and rich, no one dares to marry him. If we get married and we quarrel over some reason and suddenly become ill, will he beat him to death? I'm afraid of death. No matter how good this kind of man is, I will stay away from him. No one stopped him, they were all watching. Didn't you see someone say that they were all frightened? He had no sense at all during his illness. What if he went to help and was beaten by him? I feel that Gong Zili is a little too excited, and it really doesn't look like he is helping an ordinary friend. It was rumored that he and Xiao Mian were having an affair before, and I thought it was a rumor, but now it seems. Gong Zili and Xiao Mian's boyfriend know each other, right? If he had an affair with Xiao Mian, wouldn't he be trying to force the brothers' relationship? Said ambiguity again. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1589. Chapter 1589 can't be affected because of him. If it was just Xiao Mian's own dirty information, she wouldn't care too much. After all, this is not the first time she has been hacked. But since Gong Zili was involved and many people misunderstood Gong Zili, she couldn't just sit back and ignore it. Especially after seeing those Weibo posts saying that Gong Zili's illness was scary and that he was using the power of the Gong family to bully others, Xiao Mian felt that she had to come forward to clarify the matter. She told Linda about it. Linda was also present last night, so she naturally knows what the real situation is. This matter needs to be clarified, otherwise it will definitely be used to make a big fuss, which will have a very bad impact on you and young Master Gong. Let's leave this matter to the Public Relations Department, who on you will post on Weibo for clarification. Don't you need me to do anything? No need for now, please wait for the company to post on Weibo first. Good. Linda said it could be dealt with, so Xiao Mian stopped worrying about the matter. Asterisk. Gong Zili's side naturally saw the news. In a luxurious and atmospheric office, Gong Zili was leaning on the black leather chair, his eyes half squinted. After listening to the assistant's report, there was a hint of coldness in his narrow eyes. The assistant said, "Mr. Gong, should we ask the Public Relations Department to handle this matter immediately? If public opinion continues like this, it will have an impact on you." There was a careless look on the man's handsome face, and he sneered, "Influence, what influence? Someone on Weibo is now bringing up the topic of you deliberately hurting people. If we don't explain it, it will affect your reputation and..." Gong Zili raised his eyes, "And what? And it will also affect the young lady who is with you." The casual expression on Gong Zili's face changed slightly. He never thought of giving an explanation to the public, but now, if this matter would affect Xiao Mian, he would have to reconsider. It doesn't matter to him what others think of him. Xiao Mian is an artist. She is a public figure and her image cannot be affected. Let's not be affected because of him. After a moment of silence, Gong Zili changed his mind and said, "Then let the Public Relations Department handle it properly." "Yes, Mr. Palace. I'll do it right away." The assistant left soon. Gong Zili took out his mobile phone and checked Weibo. When he saw those Weibo posts about his ambiguous relationship with Xiao Mian, he pursed his lips and read those Weibo posts several times. His original intention was to help her. It's just that he seems to have really caused trouble for her. He doesn't care what others say about him, but he doesn't want to see others say anything bad about her. The phone rang. Seeing that it was Yan Shaoqing who was calling, Gong Zili took a few seconds to pick up the call. "Lao Si, what's going on with those things mentioned on Weibo? Did you hit someone?" Gong Zili guessed that Yan Shaoqing was calling about this matter. "Well, it's just like what you saw. Were you and your sister-in-law together last night? I went over to talk about something and didn't know she was there in advance. It is said on Weibo that you hit someone because of your sister-in-law. Is this true?" "Well, they are bullying her, and I can't just sit back and watch." "Which bastard, Boss Huang?" Damn, did that old guy have the guts to bully my sister-in-law?" "Well done, I wasn't here. If I were there, I would have given that old guy a good beating. But Yan Shaoqing changed the topic and seemed to have something else to say. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1590. Chapter 1590, Forget about her soon. If you have something to say, just say it. Gong Zili raised his eyebrows impatiently. I hate it when others hesitate to talk to me. Okay, then I'll tell the truth. Yan Shaoqing is actually not a person who likes to beat around the bush. After hearing what he said directly, "Fourth brother, you saw the article about you and your sister-in-law on Weibo. Those news. Do you know what netizens say about you and your sister-in-law?" Gong Zili's narrow eyes narrowed. "Well, I've seen it." "Have you seen it? What do you think?" "What do you think?" Gong Zili pursed his lips and said in a nonchalant tone, "What they said is not true, so why should you care?" "Yan Shaoqing, we all know that those things are not true. But do you think it's okay to let others spread rumors about you and your sister-in-law again? If the second brother sees those words, do you think he will have no thoughts in his heart? Then what do you want me to do?" Gong Zili stood up and walked to the floor-to-ceiling window, opened the blinds a little, and let some sunlight shine into the room. He half squinted his eyes to look at the outside world, post Weibo to clarify, or call ACI to explain. "Yan Shaoqing. Fourth, I just think that you should have less contact with your sister-in-law in the future. Meet less and have less contact. Over time, you may be able to, not like her so much. In the video taken online, your reaction is indeed it's too extreme, no wonder netizens think too much. Even netizens will think too much about it. What do you think about the second brother? If you think this is a difficult task, can I find you some more beauties to divert your attention?" "No." Yan Shaoqing's proposal was coldly rejected by Gong Zili. He frowned and said with displeasure in his eyes, "I'm not interested in those women now. Gong Zili only now knows that if you really like someone, you will lose all interest in other people of the opposite sex. He doesn't want to meet other women at all. Because my mind and heart are all filled with one person. There is no room left for others. Even." He now feels disgusted when he thinks back to his ridiculous past. "But you. I know how to deal with my own affairs. Do you have other matters?" "There is none left." "Then I'm dead." "Well, anyway, I have said everything I need to say. Since you know how to deal with it, I won't say more. Let me say one last thing, fourth child, you really don't have any respect for my sister-in-law. Think about it, forget about her soon." After Yan Shaoqing finished speaking, he hung up the phone. Gong Zili listened to the disconnection sound coming from his mobile phone, looked at the high-rise buildings and passing vehicles and pedestrians outside the window, and stood by the floor-to-ceiling window for a long time. Forgot about her. It's so easy to say. It's not like he hasn't tried it. However, how can one forget her so easily? Asterisk. Later, Huanyu's official Weibo issued a clarifying statement. The statement stated that Jiao Mian was in danger at that time, and Gong Zili acted bravely to help her out of danger. It was accidental that the two appeared in the same KTV, and it was not an appointment in advance, so netizens should not be careless. Spread rumors, otherwise Huanyu will initiate legal proceedings against Weibo accounts that spread serious rumors. Not long after Huanyu's statement was issued, Gongxi Enterprises' official blog also issued a statement. The statement was basically the same as Huanyu's. End of this chapter.